Hello, this is a really great book on writing guidelines. It has a very easy to use chapter on writing reports. I have used this book many times with international students who have never written a report in their lives before. Even though they have not written a report before, they have used this book to produce a report that achieves a mark of a PD. That's Performance with Distinction, the highest mark you can get in Martin College. Let's have a look at what this book can offer you. There are many different sorts of reports. I highly recommend that you read your assignment requirements very carefully and you ask your teacher if you have any questions at all about what you need to produce. There are two sorts of structures of reporting. One is the deductive structure and the other is the inductive. Martin College uses the inductive approach. This shows you everything you need to put in your report. Remember that Martin College uses the inductive approach, which has the introduction, then the discussion comes up here, then the conclusions, recommendations, references, and the appendices. This section here tells you all about what you need to put in your report. It's unlikely that you will need a memorandum, although there are some reports that need them, so please ask your teacher. You may need a covering note or a memo, but as I said, it's unlikely. Please check with your teacher. You need to start here at the title page. This tells you what to put in your title page. Here is a poor example of a title page, and here is a better example. Here is the information about the executive summary. It tells you what needs to go in your executive summary. And here is an example of what your executive summary could look like. Then we go to the table of contents. This tells you what needs to go in your table of contents. More information. And this gives you an example of what your table of contents could look like, including all the numbering. Then we go on to the introduction. This tells you about what your introduction could look like. Here is a set of bullet points. You could use this as a checklist to make sure that you have everything in your introduction that you need to have. And here is an example of what an introduction could look like. This book goes on to the conclusions next, but at Martin College we go on to the discussions. Here is the discussion. This tells you about the main body of your report. It tells you here how you need to do it, what needs to go into it. And here is an example of what it could look like, with a little more information here. Then we go to the conclusions. This tells you here about what you need to put into your conclusions section. And here are the bullet points for you to check off to make sure you have everything in your conclusions that you would like. And here is an example of what your conclusions could look like. Then we go into the recommendations. This tells you what you need to put in your recommendations. However, not every report actually needs recommendations, so please check with your teacher. Here is an example of what your recommendations could look like. And here are the bullet points to check that you have everything in your recommendations that you need. We've already done the discussion. So the next part is the references. This tells you about your references, why you need to do them and what you need to put in them. Martin College uses the APA referencing style. So if you need more information about how to reference, please have a look at one of the other study skills series on referencing. And there's much information, many sources on the Martin College online library if you need help with your referencing. Then there's the appendices. You may or may not want to put an appendix in your assignment. This tells you why and how to do that, what it would look like, and the information here will help you. These bullet points here are little checks that you can make sure that you've got everything you need for your appendix. Most importantly is presenting your report. I'm sure that you want your report to look the best it possibly can to get the best mark possible. Here are all the features that you will want to make sure that you have checked to be able to put into your report so that it looks the best it possibly can. And here are the checkpoints to make sure you have everything regarding presentation in your report. So thank you very much for watching this video clip today on how to write a report. I do hope that it has helped you. I recommend that you print off or at least read the scan of this chapter on the Martin College Online Library under Study Skills and also under Write and Reference It. If you'd like to borrow a book from the library, you're very welcome to do that. We have many books to help you with your writing skills. There are also ebooks and journal articles on the EBSCO host on the Martin College Online Library. I hope this has helped you. Thank you.